Praise be to Lord. Today, on the 10th day of On the Horizon of Heaven, I am standing here to tell a few words about a venerable who was a living example for all the priests and other people. He is known as Tiruhriday Preshidan, as well as he is the founder of Sacred Heart Congregation. Hope you would have guessed it. Yes, it is none other than Father Matthew Kadhalikattil Kattanar. Father Matthew Kadhalikattil was born on 25th April 1872 as the second son of Cherian and Rosa at Edapadi in Pala. The family atmosphere of Father Matthew was so religious, which instilled in him the noblest qualities of compassion to the poor, selfless love, and inclination to prayer and other Christian virtues. Right from his young age, he was most devoted to the Sacred Heart of Jesus. He was ordained as a priest on 17 February 1901 by Bishop Matthew Markell. Immediately after his ordination, Father Matthew spent 2 years in his own parish for pastoral experience. Then he was assigned in a new parish, Karur, dedicated to the Sacred Heart of Jesus. His intense desire to spread the devotion to the Sacred Heart, he built a new church in the place of the shed, and every home in the parish was consecrated to the Sacred Heart. Later, he was transferred in 1906 to Lalem Old Church in the heart of Pala. He found a good field for his apostolate of drawing more people, including hardened sinners, to the heart of Jesus. As a zealous pastor, he visited many families, consoled the sick, helped the poor and needy, widows and destitute, and also he showed a keen interest in upliftment of women's education. As I said already, Father Kadhalikattil was a fervent devotee to the Sacred Heart of Jesus. He called himself as a servant of the Sacred Heart and promoted devotion to the Sacred Heart through his word, deed, and exemplary life. Spread of devotion to the Sacred Heart of Jesus was one of his most important aims in beginning of the congregation in Kerala. Later, in the year 1911, he started a new religious community with 4 members and experienced to share the compassionate love of Sacred Heart of Jesus. During those days, it was a great initiative taken by Father Matthew in setting up educational institutions for girl children with a progressive idea that all girls should be educated, so that he built primary and middle schools for the needy, especially for the girl children in rural areas. Implementing this process in those days is something that not everyone can do, but Father Matthew made it possible, and those institutions have now grew into great high schools, which is doing wonderful service for the higher education and overall progress of women. Father Matthew Kadhalikattil had a great devotion to the sacred passion of our Lord. Even though his health condition was unstable, he vowed and later fulfilled a pilgrimage to the hilltop at Pamburam Para, making the stations of the cross on the way on 7 consecutive Fridays during the Lent. Subsequently, he prepared a route to the hill and built a chapel to the Mother of Sorrows. This has been a center of pilgrimage today, attracting thousands of faithful believers from all over Kerala. I would like to share one of the most heartfelt incident happened in Father Matthew's life. Father Matthew had to come across a sinful woman who refused to have faith in God. When Father met that woman, he advised her to come to church and make confession. She refused to obey Father's words and did not come to the church. Father Matthew was very much worried about her soul, so that he took a decision to change her mind. He prayed to Sacred Heart and cut his hand and wrote a letter to that woman by blood which was flowing from his hand. When she received the letter from the sacristan, she was shocked and tears started flowing from her eyes. by seeing Father's dedication and compassion towards changing her mind and soul. Finally, the women went to church and made her confession and started to lead a good life. It is so inspiring that how can a person be this much compassionate to sinners and all the other people. This incident clearly portrays his dedication in converting the hearts of people through the ministry as a preacher and confessor. After 34 years of physical strain and continuous attention to difficult works and having several medical complaints, he yielded his soul to the loving heart of Jesus on May 23, 1935. It was on the same day in Rome Pope Pius XI gave the official approval for the formation of Sacred Heart Congregation. His mortal was transferred to the chapel of Sacred Heart Convent and the course of beatification was also started. Later and even now, the faithful visit his tomb and make their prayers to him. Also, few miracles happen. The mortal remains reinterred in a new tomb by Bishop Mar Joseph Palikya Parabil. On June 27, 2011, Pope Benedict XVI approved the heroic practice of virtues of Father Matthew Kadalikatil and declared him as venerable. He lived his life by dedicating himself to the Sacred Heart of Jesus and found its expression in his tender love for the neighbor and selfless service for the upliftment of the poor, the sick, orphans, and the destitute. Finally, I would like to conclude by saying his words: submit gladly to the will of God. Thank you.